Hey guys, it's Carla. Today I'm starting with a white canvas, and the first thing I'm going to do is use my palette knife to put in like I don't know that you would call it a wood grain. It's kind of like chipped paint on what will be the side of the house. So before I put my outline on, I've got to get all of this on there. This is a really effective way to give that chipped paint look. And now I'm going to use a darker shade and put in the cracks between the boards. So I'm kind of watering it down a little bit, and I'm just going to use the edge of the knife to scrape this in. And when you start out these lines, you're going to have more paint on your knife, so every now and then flip it upside down and start at the bottom so that all of your thickness is not just at the top. Okay, now I've dried it and I've sketched on my outline. So first I want to go ahead and get the inside of the windows painted. And I'm just using black with a synthetic flat brush. Now down here I don't want a straight line, so because it's where my flowers are going to be, so I'm just kind of leaving a rough edge there. So now I'm mixing up a shade for my window pane. And again, I'm just using a flat brush for this. Now this is I guess it would be like the soffit under the roof. And then I'm just lightening that a little bit and covering the roof. And I'll be coming back later and putting more color on the roof. So this is just the first one. And now underneath that eave, well, underneath the roof line right there is the line of black, but then underneath the eave on the side of the house is a dark shadow too. All right, now with a small round brush, I'm just going to paint in my the grates on the window. Now with the dark green, I'm going to put in some of these lines. I'm just using a small round brush. You could use a liner brush or whatever. But this will give the window some definition and dimension. Now my light is going to be coming from the upper left corner. So when I'm putting my shadows in, I want to make sure that I keep them toward the right. So this edge of the window over here will have a dark line beside it. I'm not putting a dark line on the other side of the window because the light is coming from that side. All right, now I just want to brush in some color into the window, into the glass, like things are reflecting off of it. And this will just help make it more like glass and take away from that, just that jet black look. Okay, now I need a shadow color, and the shadow color is, it's going to be the shadow for the tree that you don't see in the painting, but it's hanging over, I guess, the window and casting a shadow, and then the shadow for the flowers and greenery in the window box. So this is just a watered down dark purple. Very watered down. And really, in hindsight, I may would have added a little bit of white to it. I don't really know what that would do, but it did end up being a little darker than what I wanted it, so I had to come back and lighten it. So you could do it either way, I guess, but I just, once I got it on there, I didn't like how dark it was. And you might like it that dark, but I just wanted to soften it up a little bit and lighten it up a little. But I'll do that later. I'm just scumbling this on, just in the shape of like leaves and tree limbs and stuff. Now right here I'm softening it a little bit with just a damp brush while it's still wet. So that does soften it some, but then I'll lighten it some too later. Okay, now I'm going to start on my greenery, and I'm going to start with dark green, like green and black mixture, and then just gradually get lighter and lighter with the highlights. But this right here will give me the shape of my greenery. And I'm just dabbing this on with a small round brush. And then with just plain green, that will be my next shade, my next highlight. And then a green and yellow mixture. And now with a little bit of white in that will be that's actually not going to be my final highlight, because I do come back and put just plain yellow on it later. but this is all just personal preference. It's whatever look you like, whatever shades you like. All right, now I'm going to use that purple mixture that I had, the shadow color, and just tap in some color here where my flowers are going to be. And then I'm just going to go back and forth with different shades of purple, light shades, dark shades, just one on top of the other until I have the look that I want. But again, I'm not trying to make flower shapes or anything, I'm just tapping it in. And when I'm putting these highlights in, I want to remember where my light is coming from. So like the purple part that's down toward the greenery, it's going to be darker because it's in the shadow. Okay, now I've watered down some white with just a large round brush, and this is where I'm kind of lightening up my shadow a little bit. So with it being watered down white, it doesn't cover up the color, it just lightens it, and it softly lightens it. So if you've got your shadow darker than you want it, then this is a good idea. Now I'm mixing up a highlight color. You could use plain white, but I wanted to warm it up a little bit and mix some raw sienna with it. So I'm highlighting the roof and just little specks of places where the light is coming through. All right, now I want to darken this shadow underneath the eave. And right here, I'm just using a hog bristle brush, but you wouldn't have to, just whatever brush you have handy. I just want to darken that a little bit. Now I'm watering down some light purple and kind of brushing that into my shadows. So just, you can keep playing back and forth with your shadows. It's not like once you get them on there, you're stuck with that. You can always change it. Paint covers paint. Okay, now with some dark green, I'm darkening that shadow right underneath the greenery. I just want it to be darker and look deeper. And then same thing up here, I just want it to be a little darker right up under here. That's it, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed this, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and God bless you.